All right, so the TikTok ban is upon us. If you haven't heard, Congress has done the TikTok ban, but they had to shoehorn it into defense stuff and aid and in the aid bill for Ukraine and everything. So once again, our political system does what it does best, which is sneaking things into other bills that are not even remotely related to, you know, what they need to be. We really need to stop that practice. Like, if I could pick just one thing to fix, and now it'd be that you cannot be inserting things that are unrelated to a bill in, right? So if the bill is about spending for farm subsidies, you can't put in a thing about voters' rights. It just needs to be one thing, but we don't do that here. You can really shove whatever you want in any bill, and as long as the overreaching main of that constitutes the majority of the bill, then it gets to go with that. So this isn't an immediate ban, though. It doesn't immediately get rid of TikTok. TikTok has 9 months to sell to an approved buyer, which I find ridiculous because in any other circumstance, the rhetoric is always how businesses are free to do as they want and the government shall not interfere. But in this case, because it involves money the United States would like and other businesses want, this is going to be one of those things where it's like, it's okay in this case, it's all right because America's not making money off it, it's absolutely fine. I don't buy any of the scare tactics about personal data being sold anywhere, because the reality is, if you use YouTube, if you use Facebook, if you use literally any social media platform, your data is getting harvested and sold. That's happening. At the same time, I've heard from some pretty prominent YouTubers about how, TikTok is just the devil, it's evil, and look, every social media platform is equally bad. They all are. The difference is they're fine with it because they're American companies and they're getting the money. But it doesn't matter where you go. I've heard people criticize, TikTok because some of the most toxic stuff comes to this platform. It's every platform. YouTube has the same issue. You have kids making shorts on YouTube as you do on TikTok, where they're doing dangerous activities or doing bad things. Always. Doesn't matter if, as long as it's a platform like this, or even text form, or you can put images and video, you're going to have that kind of activity taking place. So TikTok will absolutely fight this. We'll see what happens. That's going to be the more interesting part. I think that this legislative action was going to be inevitable in some shape or fashion. It was always going to be there. But it's the part after that happens that matters. Like, what is going to happen after the fact? This is also a major, strike to freedom of speech with the United States. By doing this, our political leaders have decided that we don't have freedom of speech anymore. You can try to bend that any way you want to say that we do, but they don't. They've actually legislated it, preventing us from talking on a platform. To jump back a moment to talking about how platforms may be different, because a lot of people are criticizing that YouTube can be better because of how they moderate content. It's not, though. It's not. All of these platforms, the content can be moderated far better, and that is more so what legislatively should have been administered, is better content control regulation. We're never going to get that, though, because that's not the goal here. The goal is to make sure that no opposing companies that aren't American are making money or controlling the narrative. See, our government can control YouTube. If they don't like something, they can request videos to be pulled. It is harder for them to do that with TikTok. Now, TikTok is not a perfect platform. I am not saying it's a perfect platform. I don't make YouTube videos at this point. I do gaming clips, but that's different because I'm not actually talking in those. But this platform is more open for the people. As far as scare of data being stolen, it's getting stolen or sold from anywhere anyway, so it's not really a concern to me. But anyway, you guys, what are your thoughts on this? What do you think is going to happen? Again, we have about 9 months. We'll see where this baby goes, put it that way, because 9 months. We'll see where it goes and see what happens with everything. I'm thinking something is going to change, and this is going to get challenged to a degree it hasn't been before. It is going to be setting a huge precedence for going forward and how apps are controlled. I do believe that's going to happen. So anyway, we'll see how it goes. Again, what are your thoughts? Where do you see this going? And are you currently making plans to get on a different platform, or have you already done that?